Hi, welcome to Suplex the Sticks, a gaming podcast hosted by David and Seth.
Hi.
And Forrest.
Hi.
So, it worked. It picked it up. It picked it up. I'm going to change the gain.
I was very far away when I said hello. I
Yeah.
mean, hi. I didn't say hello.
So I said that I was going to talk about Prince of Persia last week, forgetting
That last week we were at a basketball game.
we were going to a basketball game. But it was fun to go to the basketball game.
Yep.
And it reaffirmed that when I try to play games in the car, I get car sick.
Yeah, it's
And
Yes,
I can't
it's
do
tough to
that.
do.
I've had
There
that
are
pro-
some games where everything is very still.
I used to think that I
Like
could
the
do
New
it.
York Time Games app can do that easy in the car.
I figured since I was trying to play Sea of Stars, it would be easy to do in the car, and I was very wrong.
I've come to the conclusion that if I try to play any games while in the car, I get sick.
I can
It
do
doesn't
like
even
phone
it doesn't
games.
even matter what it is.
I can do like little phone things, like Marvel Snap or something that I don't have to keep an eye on the whole time. But yeah, that
It's rough.
doesn't work
No.
anymore.
Yeah, it's really hard while driving, too.
Well,
Oh yeah, to play games
yeah.
while driving.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. I mean,
But I
it's
still do it.
doable.
I haven't.
I mean, you could just like hold your.
I really
Switch like
haven't
this
done that
on
since
the
like
steering
Pokemon
wheel.
X and Y days.
So I like to put the screen in the steering wheel and use it as a motion controller while I'm playing a racing game.
Ah. I
the,
like
the
that.
amount of
like
times I
that.
did attempt to play Pokemon X and Y and
It's very-
driving
It's very intuitive.
is maybe bad.
What's
and
worse,
that was-
playing X and Y while driving or Pokemon Go while driving?
Try. Let me throw this into the ring. Mega Man 03.
That's way too
that's-
much going on.
There's
to be
way too
driving.
much going on with that. Since I guess we're all confessing sins. I don't know.
They were definitely in the 3DS days. There were times that I just have it in my lap, and
Yeah,
look down, whatever I was playing.
yeah. It wasn't great.
It was easier with the 3DS because it had a touchscreen. So if you had
Yeah.
a game that was just touchscreen, you could
Yeah.
do it. You shouldn't have. You shouldn't have.
You
done it.
shouldn't have, but
But
But you could still keep your hands on the wheel or one hand.
yeah.
I guess you could do that with the
I miss those
Switch
days.
if you were holding the steering wheel
Yeah.
and also had Joy-Cons in your hands.
That's what I was
Yeah.
saying before. You hold the Switch like this, and then like have the steering wheel there too. So
No,
you
but I'm
just
saying
do
you
this.
remove the Joy-Cons from the Switch and you have them in your hands that are holding the steering wheel at 10 and 2, and then you have the screen wherever.
If there's no traffic, cars can drive themselves now, basically. So anything's possible.
This is the dream Elon Musk is trying to achieve
Yeah.
with his
don't-
terrible trucks.
I was about to say, don't give him credit. Like it is what he's trying to achieve, but to what cost?
I don't think this is the specific goal he had in mind.
Right.
It might be. If I was him, and I am,
Okay.
Get out.
this is a big reveal here.
Yeah. It's time for you to
You
go.
tear off your face.
Oh, Mission Impossible
Mission
style.
Impossible style.
Oh no, that would be rad. I would pop for that. I would be.
But then, of course, one of you would tear off your face and be Tom Cruise.
that's true.
It's true.
And a double agent type of thing.
But you won't know
Double
which.
twist, yeah.
You won't know till it's too
And
late.
one of us is Ving Rhames. You just don't know it. So yeah,
Hobbies.
I beat
We have the meat.
I beat Sea of Stars.
Congratulations. Did you really, though?
I did.
Yep, you did.
Yeah.
It's not. It. You know what? I feel zero guilt about it. It's not my fault that the developers of this game decided to lock plot crucial ending behind a collectible that was easy to get in the course of the game, and I did not rush playing this game because I did everything, but I did still miss like 15 out of 60 of these things.
Yeah.
And it's because of the ones that you have to go back to get after you get certain powers.
To be fair, the true ending is not just getting these collectibles. It's tied to like 7 different side quests that you have to finish.
Which I did
Yeah,
because I wanted.
right. They were easy to
They
do.
were well. It's not only that they were easy,
But
like
they were easy to do within the flow of the game.
correct. This one was not. So I don't want to hold that against the game too much. It is annoying because I went through and watched it, and it does drastically alter a lot of the plot of the game.
Yeah, it was
Basically retcons it.
yeah, it's crazy. I remember when I did it, I was like, oh, this is so cool. It made me very happy.
Yeah, I don't
Because
want
of
to
the way
spoil
it
what it
changes
is.
stuff.
But it was super cool. I do think that this game should be played by people. It's great.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, it's not exactly a hard game. None of the battles like really pushed me to the point of feeling like I was losing too much or getting mad.
Yeah, and there's like some items that you can get throughout the game that are literal, like make the game easier.
So
for
yeah,
yourself
there's
things.
things
Almost
It's
called
like
pretty
auto
early in the
play it.
game too.
Yeah,
there's things called relics that can either make the game harder or easier for you.
and a lot of the easy ones you get like right off the
In
gate.
the first big town.
Yep.
And the harder ones. They really let you. One of the ones is where the enemy has higher defense when they have a lock on and stuff like that. I will say that I didn't use any of the easier ones except for some of the ones when you get them, they automatically turn them on. Like one
Yeah.
of the ones I
Yeah.
bought was make items in the shop be cheaper, and one of them is like your ship can go faster. That's when you get later on. What do you guys think of Dice Throne? That's basically what that game wheels.
Wheels.
I didn't mess with
I
it.
enjoyed it.
You didn't mess with it at all.
I never mess with these
Yeah,
things.
I remember asking him about it.
Yeah.
When he talked about it, and he never played
Wheels
it.
is great.
Yeah, it was.
I
fun.
had a lot of
I don't.
fun.
I'm not a fan of.
The game within a game.
Yeah, like
That was the best part of Horizon 2. I didn't finish Horizon 2, but the game within a game of that was great.
I think my distaste for it comes from Final Fantasy 8 and 9.
8 with the greatest game within a game that's ever been made.
Yeah, I was
Triple
like,
Triad.
I genuinely, it made me feel stupid when I tried
Yeah,
playing
Triple
it when I
Triad
first
rules.
like played that game.
Yeah, me
That's
too.
the best part of that game. Triple Triad rules.
I remember when I played it the remaster. I remember playing Triple Triad and finally actually understanding what the rules meant and be like, oh, it's still some of the rules are still kind of like really weird and can lead to you losing games based on random card plays at the end.
Yeah.
You're like, I don't understand why
The
this
same
did
thing
this.
with the Final Fantasy 9 card game.
But Triple Triad is goated.
Yeah, dude.
It's a bit too much math to be doing at the end game enemies.
Yeah.
But sometimes you can get one really powerful card early in the game and like roll with it.
I'm wondering what. I don't want to go too far into this, but I wonder if there's going to be a mini game like Fort Condor in the new Final Fantasy.
I think they have said that there is going to be.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, and it's going to have the freaking gold saucer, so there's going to be
Yeah,
a
so there's gonna
Many
be
ton of
games
mini
galore.
Yeah, I want that. I want more of that. Give me that. But yeah, I really like Zale and Valir.
Valerie.
Valir.
Thank you,
And
David.
I do like that this game explicitly rewards you if you go out of the way to get the hero's ultimate weapon.
Yeah.
Because you end up rolling everything pretty handily after that. Maybe annoyingly, because I maybe would have liked some pushback in the end, but I did just roll through like all of the last 2 to 3 bosses after you get all of them.
Yeah, one thing that was kind of annoying, and I think I'm trying to remember if this happened at Golden Sun, because you get the most powerful weapons before the final dungeon, or
Mhm.
outside of the final dungeon. And then there are strong weapons in the final dungeon, but you find them, you're like, you get
What was the
excited every
point?
time, and then
Yeah.
you go into the inventory, it's like, oh, these are worse than what I have.
Right.
Because I already have the best weapons.
Yeah.
And didn't really know it.
You know, I lied. Some of the boss the arena fights were kind of hard, but that's
Yeah.
because they put unnecessary constraints on you. Not
Yeah.
unnecessary, but challenging constraints
Yeah.
on you.
Fun, though.
Fun.
And with some humorous bosses.
Yeah, for sure. And I really love the character of Beast.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I he could be best.
I think he's Beast.
I think he's Beast.
Yeah. He's beast mode.
The final
Great.
character you get in the game.
Great late addition to the game.
Surprising, too.
Yeah. And it's just overall a good game. It goes a lot of places, and it made me want to go back and play The Messenger. Even though I did watch a video where like all the connections are very loose. It's not like a one-to-one
Yeah.
type thing.
They're not really massively important.
But
to each
one
other.
of the characters is the antagonist and one of the antagonists in The
Yes.
Messenger.
Yep.
But it is all fairly loose. There's like a 20-minute video on YouTube of the connections.
I think the forthcoming DLC for Sea of Stars is going to connect directly to the
Is it
Messenger.
DLC coming?
Yep.
Oh,
When was that announced?
Let's see. I think
I genuinely feel
they
like
tweeted about it on January 12th.
what the heck? I feel crazy. Like I'm in the developer Discord. I get notifications from them like every other week.
Well, there you go.
that's interesting. So I beat Sea of Stars. I liked it. I think it's Tuplex certified.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think everyone should play it. I don't know if you should play it in place of Golden Sun. You should play Golden
You
Sun.
should play both.
But
Why not both?
Yeah.
because sometimes
One of
you
them's
do,
on Game Pass. One of them's on the Nintendo Switch online expansion pack.
Truly. And one of them you should play with sound on. The other one, it's fine if you don't. I think Sea of Stars music is the weakest point of that game. I did keep turning on, like every time I'd be in a new area, I'm like, maybe this one will do it for me. And I'm like, nope. And then I would just turn it back down. And
It's got some good tracks, but I think on the whole that
Yeah.
it isn't like any classic bops
Right.
from JRPG yore.
yeah. Just I'm itching for that Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which is going to be full of bangers. Because I'll tell you, the other game I'm playing also very uninspired musically, and that is Prince of Persia. But overall, I'm about 5 hours deep into that game, and it is something else. It is so dang good. This is a Devil May Cry sort of Metroidvania, sort of. It's actually a lot of Hollow Knight. It really has the bones of Hollow Knight in there, because there's an amulet system, and some of the attacks can lend to like platforming, and some of the ways you move in combat can be used for platforming, like your dash. There's parrying, which wasn't really in Hollow Knight, but they've added a parrying, and it just is so good. It's so good. I am so excited to keep playing this game. There's so many neat little things they're doing with time, and
And they're like sands of time.
they're crystals of time. Yes.
Final Fantasy.
No.
Are you the Prince of Persia in this game?
No, you are one of the 7 immortals that guard the Prince of Persia,
Interesting.
Prince Ghassan, and your mentor, Arashanti. I can't remember her name. She, spoilers, steals away the prince, and you don't know her motives. But
Probably to keep
that's
him
like
safe
the
from a
first
greater
5
evil.
minutes of the game. I will say I have heard some criticisms of this game's opening 30 minutes, and yeah, they're valid. It's not the fastest opening, but get through it.
It's better for it to be a bad opening 30 minutes than a bad opening 5 hours.
Yeah.
Correct. You're right.
Or 20.
Yeah. It gets good. Just wait.
The amount of times I've heard that from multiple people about different things, including Final Fantasy 13, which I famously quit apparently when that game gets good.
Who knows?
Yeah.
We'll never know if it's good or not.
So, but yeah, Prince of Persia, I'm enjoying it. That's all I'm really playing. Besides, I jumped on Fortnite a little bit
Yeah.
to do my missions.
It's your Halo
Usuals.
Infinite.
Yeah.
I think there's a vast difference in relevancy between Fortnite and Halo Infinite, but that's fine.
Just
But
like, and for me, it's Tetris 99.
Yeah. These are all our Roman
I
empires.
think there's also a depth difference of like, I think the Tetris 99 is good. I'm not saying like Fortnite's better. I do think I'd get more joy out of it.
Yeah, that's because you can't win.
Yeah, you're right. And I can win at Fortnite. I've done it a lot. But not that I haven't wanted to play other stuff, but I've wanted to get through some of the stuff I'm. Spoilers, I'm excited to get to Dave the Diver next. That's probably what I'm going to get to next. Or Death Stranding. One of those two is up.
Yeah. Death Stranding quickly got added to the list today.
Yeah. But yeah,
We'll talk about it.
we'll talk about that.
How the
later.
turntables.
The only one here who has actually played Death Stranding.
Listen, I get it. I get it. But Seth, what have you been playing?
Well, I suppose first I will talk about I have played Pal World.
Oh,
You've
played.
Palled around in the world.
I have. I've caught some pals in balls. I've attacked some other pals while riding on pals. I've punched pals in the face and shot them with guns.
Did you catch a human in a ball?
I did, almost immediately at the beginning. There's a human right where you start the game, and I was like, I wonder how hard this is. I felt bad about it, but I still have not released her. I'm not sure there's a way to do it, actually.
This-
It's horrible.
There might be. It's, of course, it's a game in early access, and so it's not really much of a game. It's fun enough. There is a very enjoyable quality to beating up the pals by yourself rather than using the other pals to do it. Especially because the other pals, like the AI for the pals is really kind of, it's rough when it comes to battling at this point.
Is it like there's no turn based? You just kind of.
You let them out into the world and they sort of do their own thing. You can't really. You can't give them commands unless you're like riding them.
Gotcha.
I think there is a interesting and good game in this somewhere, like down the line. The problem is, of course, it's an alpha version and there's not really any direction or goal. There is a sort of tutorial that has you leveling up your base and catching pals and having them do tasks, and then at the end it's like, hey, go to this tower and fight the boss. And I think there are some hints of a kind of story happening in the world, but again, none of it's really in the game yet. But it is sort of frustratingly addicting to play in the way that, like, any sort of survival-ish game is,
Yeah.
where you find yourself in a constant loop of having to collect stuff, to build stuff, to be able to collect more stuff. And so it's easy to just sort of sink hours into it, not really doing a whole lot, but feeling like you're doing a whole lot. I don't know. It's fun. The designs are I for the most part don't think there's a whole lot of crossover between Pokemon designs with this. Clearly, there's stuff that's like inspired, but I think it's more like um, aping the visual style of Pokemon rather than taking individual cues from specific Pokemon. That's my opinion, of course. I've seen a couple videos of people like comparing one to one. Like this looks exactly like this, and I'll be like, I don't see it. There are some definitely clones. I think there are at least 2 or 3 Pokemon that look just exactly like Eevee. I mean, pals that look like Eevee. There's a lot of Pokemon.
There's
That
the
look
one.
like
There's
Eevee.
the one that is just Gigantamax Eevee,
Yeah. Yes.
and then there's the
That one's weird.
Lucario one.
I don't think it looks like Lucario to me.
I don't know. That's
It just. I don't think it looks like Lucario. I think there are other ones that are a lot closer. But there are some who are making comparisons of certain pals, and I'm just like, this doesn't look anything like it. It's maybe a vague, similar idea. I don't know. But yeah, Pal World. It is what it is at this point. I had to uninstall it because I was like, I don't want to be putting time into this game because it's not really a game.
I'm really proud of you for
It's
that.
like
Because you will dump 200 hours into something
yeah,
like this.
into like in a game that's in early access and nothing will come from it. The other game that I played last week that I played through was. Hold on, I keep forgetting the exact name of this.
Oh Lord,
I love when this happens.
I
It's
pre.
gonna be
here we go,
something-
here we go.
Something wild.
Oh, let's hear guesses. What do we think?
As a Turnip Boy goes to
No,
jail
it's
and
not
shoots a
that.
man.
No, it's not that. It is SD Gundam Battle Alliance.
Oh,
Yes,
that's
I
I
saw
did see you
on-
playing
yeah.
that.
Yeah. It's on Game Pass. It's a game I've had installed on my Xbox for a while, but never really started up because I didn't know exactly what the game was. It turns out it's a pretty simplistic kind of beat 'em up style, like 3D beat 'em up, where you control chibi mobile suits and sort of punch and shoot and sword fight with other mobile suits and these tiny facsimiles of locations from the Gundam universe. I had a lot of fun. I think anyone who enjoys Gundam would like this game because it takes characters like the first mission you get. It's from a scene in the original Mobile Suit Gundam where the main character, the pilot, he's left the base because he feels like he isn't like the people there don't care about him. But then
Right.
the base gets attacked, so he has to run back, and he ends up fighting this guy who shows up in a new blue mobile suit that they've never encountered. And this first mission, you're doing that, but as the blue mobile suit jumps at you, crazy lights happen, and it turns into the Gundam Barbatos from Iron Blooded Orphans.
Nice.
What?
And so you have to fight it. And so it's the setting of this game is you play a character from the original Mobile Suit Gundam series who has been sucked into a computer program which is running constant simulations of all of the worlds of Gundam. And in that computer program, history is like breaking and characters from other timelines are crossing over. And so you
Is
have
this
to
the plot of Dissidia?
you have to
also?
fix history.
No.
Like I feel.
I mean, it's
Kind of.
it's total nonsense, but what it amounts to is that characters from different series are showing up in missions from series that they don't belong in.
Right.
And so it is fun because you get these interactions from characters that would never happen in
Right.
the shows, which is fun if you are fans. Like even me, like a surface level fan, I've seen some of the shows. Of course, love G Gundam, and it takes quite a while into the game before you get to G Gundam, which was frustrating. But then I unlocked the Burning Gundam, and it's like the best one to use in the whole game, which was very fun.
That's good. That's satisfying.
And every time I used the super move, it played the Burning Finger theme
Oh,
song.
perfect.
Yeah, it was great.
That's
Very good.
It was amazing.
That's
he
what I
he turned gold. He shot out the Sekiha Tenkyoken, and then you were gold for a while in super mode, and all of your attacks were faster, and you had more combos. It was great. But yeah, it was super fun, and honestly, the gameplay itself is not like super innovative or enthralling.
right.
But I enjoyed all the character interactions were fun, and it had kind of annoying but satisfying loop of you have to go back and play through missions to unlock them. You unlock pieces of mobile suits, and so you have to play through them multiple times, which is kind of annoying. And then there would be super hard versions where special mobile suits would show up that you had to have to fight. It was an enjoyable time, and I'm glad that I played through it.
Good.
It was another one I had to uninstall at the end because I was like, I kept wanting to go back and play it, and then I would load it up and be like, I've already done everything that I want to do in this game, and I would jump into a mission and not be having fun, and it's like, okay, I'm just gonna remove this from my Xbox so as to not continue opening up this game and play something else. Although I will say it did influence me into watching the 3 Mobile Suit Gundam compilation movies on Netflix. I watched all of those.
I've been meaning to watch those.
I remember it. Like I remember it came on Toonami as a kid because Mobile Gundam Wing was a huge success.
Yeah.
So after that, they showed other ones. Funnily enough, they never showed the entire season of Mobile Suit Gundam because 9/11 happened, and so all networks were getting rid of anything with war in it. So I watched all of that, and it was interesting. And then I started watching Mobile Suit Zeta Gundam on Crunchyroll, and it's been really fun. For the shows that came out like in the late 80s, they look really good, and Zeta Gundam especially has this really awesome soundtrack. Like there's, I think, 4 different background tracks that happens, and they come up at different times, but they're all bangers, and I love every time they come on. It's a lot of fun. I imagine it's going to get me on a larger kick of watching all the other stuff that I haven't watched, because the game itself, it gives you it puts you through the major battles from these shows, and then there are you can go. It's a really weird presentation because before these missions, you will have the in-game characters who will be explaining what the setup of these missions is to the main character who doesn't know anything. But instead of those long text scenes actually happening, the character will be like, here's the scene. I'm going to set the scene, and then it will say this backstory has been added to the videos menu, and so you have to go into a different menu to load up that scene of them talking about it. But it doesn't let you do that before the mission. It just puts you into the mission. And so the only way to learn about the setup for the mission you're going on to is after the mission is over, going back and looking it up. But through those, I basically learned the plot of all of these Gundam series, which was fun.
I just looked up a list of Gundam shows, and it's
an astoundingly large list.
Yes.
yeah. Yeah, that's too much.
Yep.
I just need to watch Witch from Mercury. That's something.
It's also too much because Zeta Gundam there's 50 episodes of it. I think this around the same with the original series.
Yeah.
But luckily there are compilation movies of a lot of those. I remember watching the 08th MS Team on Toonami, which I thought was good. And there's also a compilation movie of that, which I might watch. I think they did a good job of fitting these packages of show packages into like more watchable bites. I don't know how long Witch from Mercury is.
It's only like 24 episodes
Yeah,
right now.
because it's it's a modern anime that don't really last that long for one season.
Supposedly it's good.
Yeah.
It is good. I watched it.
I didn't tell you this, but I got a figure of that Gundam design.
Ariel?
The Ariel, yeah.
Good design.
And it's super freaking cool. But I am too scared to take it out of the box right now because I don't have a proper place to display it and all its little parts.
Yeah.
All of the bits.
Yeah. It's not a model kit, by the way.
Yeah.
It
It's
is
just a figure.
it is just a figure with like 15 extra little bits.
Yeah, that always stressed me out with the 2 or 3 Gunpla I built.
Yeah.
They always came with
Yeah,
a
it's
bunch
like,
of
what do you
extra
do
weapons.
with these extra things?
Yeah.
Like, I'm never going to.
I'm not playing with them.
I'm never going to repose these with these extra things
Yeah.
after I set them up. But I also don't want to throw away this stuff.
I have a tendency to repose my stuff on anywhere from like 1 to 3 months, depending.
Well,
Well, I
that's
think
nice.
if you get new stuff and add to the scenery, you might need to, or if you ever want to, if you're ever like rearranging furniture and you have to move stuff, those are. I would
gives you a good
only ever
excuse
I
to
would
do
need
it.
an impetus to do it.
Yeah.
Right.
Usually it would be like a set it and forget it type of deal.
That's fair.
But yeah, Gundam, we love Gundam.
Heck yeah.
I
do.
have to attribute my latter day interest in the Gundam franchises, the Gundam Metaverse as it is. They actually just had this is the Gundam build series that they did, which I a few years ago decided to watch on a whim. Watch the first one on Crunchyroll, and then I was like, well, I have to. This was amazing. I have to watch the rest of them because those are just like.
Oh yeah, well, you've covered them on the
What
show
if
before.
what if Gundam but Dragon Ball Z basically? But the upshot is that they had all these mobile suits that I didn't know where they were from and created an interest in me to seek out more of this stuff. But Gundam's great.
It's super fun.
Yeah, as much as children going to war and weapons of mass destruction can be.
Yeah.
And people dropping asteroid-sized colonies onto the Earth, which somehow never destroy the Earth, though you think they would.
The Earth is resilient.
I guess
That's the
so.
one thing we know for sure. Maybe. And maybe we hope
Yeah.
it's resilient. Forrest, there's a new haiku written about
He
you.
played Halo.
Yeah. Just
I-
a little bit.
I,
Was this one from the other week, or was this one that I have not been privy to yet?
no, it was the one written the other week, and it was a great haiku.
Yes.
So you've already read it.
Yeah.
But this is
I think I was even looking
the
at the chat
listeners.
the moment that it was written.
You were.
Um,
I can't.
Search. I think it was in the news chat, but just search like haiku.
I'll
That
make up a
should get
haiku.
you.
Forrest plays Halo
I feel like Cameron has written this exact line before.
is the only game
Ooh.
he plays at all today.
Cameron's
It's not
new-
very good.
No.
This is the good stuff you get in the Discord when we're arguing about the merits of a company possibly supporting a dead game. New Halo update. Seasons changed to something new. Forrest watched the stream.
All true statements.
All better haikus than anything that was in Ghost of Tsushima. So
What can you do?
yeah.
They're only professional video game writers.
Yeah. Well,
Cameron should be a professional haiku writer.
But only about you.
Yeah.
Hire him to work on the game about you playing Halo. It's a meta game.
That would not be a fun game. I'll tell you that much.
so you played Halo.
I played Halo. And I beat Max Payne 3, which I did most of that legwork at the beginning of last year, but I finished out like the last 2 or 3 hours of it a few weeks ago. And
You mean the end of last year?
No, the beginning of last year. I started Max Payne 3.
In January of last year?
Yes, because I was
And then
playing
you
Dead
just
Space
finished
Remake around the same time.
How did you manage to get back to it? I would never get back to a game that I started a year
I
ago.
slowly whittled away at it over the last like few months. I don't know. I just wanted to keep going back to it. Plus, I beat the first 2 earlier
Yeah.
this year, so it was like, oh yeah, I needed to beat.
But
3.
I guess that's why I was confused, because I remember you playing 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And so it is bizarre to me that you, at the beginning of the year, would have started 3. And then at the end of the year, you would have been like, I'll play 1 and 2 now.
To be fair,
And
they are
then
entirely different.
At the
games.
beginning of this year, you finished 3.
yeah,
This sounds very much like a Forrest thing to do. I
It
don't know what you're talking
entirely
about.
is.
I guess so.
Listen,
it's
it's the
weird.
same thing that happened to me when I played Metroid. I played Dread, and I'm
Yes.
like, oh, I got to go back and play the others.
Yeah, but you finished Dread.
Yeah, that's true.
That's why it's
Okay,
confusing
listen,
to me.
that's besides
Because
the
you
point.
didn't even finish Max Payne 3.
Here's where we're really gonna get into it here. Then, when I initially played Max Payne 3 years ago when it came out, I had the distinct memory of dropping the game when I got to a level where I was in an airport and there was a dude shooting grenade launchers at me.
It was shooting like
Well,
a gun
like the-
that fired grenade launchers.
I wish. Okay, but like he was shooting a grenade
Talk
launcher
about
at
putting
me
a hat
and-
on a hat.
Yeah, and a bag in a bag.
Yeah.
But so I distinctly remembered dropping the game at this certain section, and I got around to
Airport.
it this last week.
Did you realize that was like the first stage?
No, it was the final stage. It was the final 10 minutes
Hey,
of the game.
It's like me
That's
finishing,
wild.
realizing that Last of Us I had stopped within the last hour
Yeah.
of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I had that realization a few weeks ago, and I was so frustrated with my past self because of it. And to be fair, that last section is like kind of dumb because you're basically like being pinned down. And if you try to run to any different spot of the area, you get automatically killed by the guy with the grenade launcher. If you take too long to kill all the other guys that are coming in, you get automatically killed. So you're having to basically do like crowd control with all the other guys that are flooding in and trying to kill this one dude. And he has a riot shield too, so like you can't just shoot at
I
him.
mean, that's a classic boss setup.
Yeah. Absolutely, but it was very difficult.
It doesn't
for a
make it
little
not
bit.
frustrating.
Yeah, it doesn't make it not frustrating.
So I think that quitting the game at that point is completely acceptable. I think that if
except
you
I
play-
was like 13.
yeah, well, I mean, it would be different if you knew that was the end of the game, I think. But like getting to the end and being like, this is not worth the pain it is to finish
Yeah.
this game. I think it's
Like
like,
the 30
you've
minutes
played,
I've been stuck
you've
on
played
this
through the whole
section.
game, and if it's so bad at the end, it's like, all right, this game does not deserve me getting to the end of it.
Patrick Klepek famously loves Sekiro, but got to the final boss and was like, I don't need to engage with this.
Yeah,
And then-
I never
That's
beat
so
the
based.
last boss of Sekiro either.
And he,
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, I like this game a lot. He was this one.
It was my game of the year that year.
And-
Yeah.
and he's
I
like,
didn't
but
finish it.
the final boss was such a, at least in his terms, I have not played Sekiro, so I could be wrong. Seth can, but like it was either such a unfair fight / skill like
Intensive,
cliff,
yeah.
that it was just like,
Yeah,
this is
it
not.
is- It's
even within the
multi-
rules of the rest of the game.
Yeah,
like,
it's a multi-stage fight, which there are a lot of those in that game where you think you kill an enemy and then they come back with a new health bar and a new
Yeah.
form. This you start out fighting like the mid game boss that is like maybe the other hardest boss in the game. It's like a rematch against him, and then if you kill him, he turns into another person who is the hardest boss in the game, and has an even greater health bar. And so it was a thing where it is already difficult to get to that second phase just to be able to like practice it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's not like if you die, you're starting back off of that second phase,
You got to go
which I
through it
think
all
is
over
which
again.
is the frustrating thing about it. And so yeah, when I played it, I got to the second phase multiple times. Never really did enough damage to it to make it me feel like I was learning how to do it. And then I put the game down to play something else, and then it was like I could never come back to it because
I see.
Yeah.
I couldn't. There was no real easy way for me to build my skill back up without like starting the game over. And so it's like, I don't. This is fine. I don't need to have to beat this boss.
It's,
You know-
it's why I know the Elden Ring DLC is now done for me. There's
Fair.
no way I can go back to that.
I've had this happen to me twice as a kid, specifically with two entirely separate Mega Man games. 04 and Battle Network 6. I got to both of those games' final bosses and could not get past them and eventually dropped those games. Years later, I would end up beating that same file of 04 because I really needed to do that. Oh, this also happened to me with Pokemon Leaf Green. Because I really screwed myself over on my team setup in that game, and I only trained my Blastoise, which was like level 90, and everything else was like in the 40s or
Oh,
something.
Lord.
It was
Just
atrocious.
catch new Pokemon.
There were no good Pokemon to
It is
catch
tough.
at that
It
point.
it is Gen 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a weird thing, Mega Man Zero. I always wondered why the bosses in that felt so hard. And I think it
Yeah.
has something to do with how crowded the screen feels. Like there isn't like the proportions are so close to what they are in Mega Man X, but it feels like there's so much
It's-
less room to move.
Yeah, they're
because
absolutely.
the screen is so much smaller.
Absolutely.
And this is especially a problem when it comes to like the final bosses of those games, which
Yeah.
are
Especially like the Zero series in
Huge
general
and
is
take up-
much more like action
Yeah.
and movement intensive. But yeah, so I beat Max Payne 3 with the realization that I could have beaten it years ago and not have had to do this replay of it.
Nice.
Yeah. And haven't touched Golden Sun in 2 weeks because
That's a shame.
life has been rough, and I
That's how it
also
goes.
got myself a little turned around in the first dungeon, which
can
is
happen.
slightly embarrassing.
Yeah. Are we
but-
talking about the Sol Sanctum?
Yes.
Yeah, it can be confusing if you don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I absolutely.
I think I
don't.
could probably go through it blindfolded.
Yeah. Whereas I'm like trying
Yeah,
to
but
literally check every single
on
like.
first time. It's like where the heck?
I'm in a maze, and I feel like I cannot find
I
my
think
way.
one of the things that I think I like so much about Golden Sun when I first played is that it doesn't really tell you where to go.
No.
Even
At all.
like you haven't gotten to the part where you are sent out into the world, but you'll find it. They literally don't give you a direction to go. They're just like, you have to go out and stop these people from doing it. And you go out into the world, it's like, okay, I guess I have to find them. And of course, at the beginning, there are only so many places you could go. But it really, I think it's, and I guess part of it comes from the fact that knowing that I overcame that and was able to sort of find it for myself.
Yeah.
Right.
Is it gives you that sense of accomplishment. Rather than it being like, okay, you go here, and there will be at times direct hints of some people directly saying, "Okay, you have to go here next because that's where the bad guys are going." But
Yeah.
other times it's just like, all right, you move from town to town trying to
Good luck.
figure out any clues as to where these people are going or where
Jeez.
you're supposed to be going. It's very interesting, I think, because it is a different style of doing things
Part
of-
as to games that.
So
Come
part
on
of
now.
me does want to tell you to play with a guide for gin locations. That's the only thing I've
Yeah, I mean, I think
Okay.
because you can get hard locked out of getting
yes,
some.
Golden Sun is
Notorious.
for in each of its games there being points of no return where if you pass a certain thing you can't go back to get stuff that
Right.
was that you maybe had to have gotten before that, and so stuff will just be gone.
Dang.
Yeah, I remember playing Dark Dawn. I think Dark Dawn was worse about
Dark
it.
Dawn had multiple points,
And
I
I remember
sucked.
getting to a point and being like, I know I should have one more gin here. And then realizing, oh, I missed it and I can't go back to get it. And so I started the game over.
Oh my god.
I think that might be a reason why I don't like it, because I played like the first 33% of it twice.
That's possible.
That's rough.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. But it's
This
not
doesn't
too, it's
instill
not
confidence in me, guys.
I don't think I never found it to be that bad in
Yeah.
And
Gold.
one.
In Dark Dawn it was bad. You had to, if you wanted to get everything, you had to look up a guide to make sure that you weren't going past these things where the world would permanently change.
God.
But
It
nothing,
was just
yeah.
gin. Just do
Yeah.
a gin guide. That's
Okay.
what you would look up. And I mean, there's probably only 1 or 2 spots in the GBA games. I can't remember.
Yeah, there are a couple that are in the overworld that you would have to know where to go to
Right.
find them. But for the most part, if you're exploring any of them that are found in maps, you'll see them and know where they are, and just have to
We say
figure
that,
out a
but
way to get there.
I still miss like 15 conch shells. So I for Sea of Stars, but all right, let's take a second and take a break, and then we'll be back with the PlayStation State of Play.
Hi, Big Joe here, and I'm here to tell you to check out Suplex the Sticks on all social media platforms at Suplex the Sticks. Links for the socials and the invite to our Discord are in the show notes below. Subscribe and review the show on your favorite podcatcher, and while you're at it, let your friends know about the podcast. It's the best way to help us grow our community. And with that, back to the show.
Oh, we gotta talk about the
Go ahead.
Goku, all of the Gokus.
Oh, we don't have to talk about that. We don't have to talk about all the
And all the
Gokus.
Vegetas.
But there's so many Gokus.
Oops, all Gokus. Oops, all Vegetas.
Oops, all Gogeta.
I
Didn't
don't
even
think
reveal
that's a
Gogeta.
Yeah.
surprise.
Gogeta, but separate.
I think that that's a bit that they're leaning into, because in the Tenkaichi games, you could always scale the power level in the fight.
Sure. And I'm sure there'll be a way to do that in this. But
Yeah. We're back.
We're back.
We're talking about Dragon Ball.
talking
We're
about
so
Dragon Ball.
freaking back.
We're talking about Sparking
Zero.
Oh.
The character reveals.
I'm probably not going to end up calling it that by the time this game comes
No,
out.
it's called
I'm just gonna say
Tenkaichi 4.
Tenkaichi.
I like Sparking Zero.
Yeah,
just like
it's
a
not bad,
thing
but
that-
it's not
it
what
doesn't
I'm
really make
actually
sense.
thinking is.
They better have
this game.
Gohan with his beast mode
I'm sure they will.
in this game.
And you'll have Orange Piccolo.
Yes, sir.
And Kaiju,
In that graphic,
Kaiju Cell.
There were other characters in that graphic that they showed.
That trailer was insane.
Yeah.
I actually have not looked at this trailer yet. I've been too busy.
It's just Goku and Vegeta fighting with a bunch of different forms.
Okay, the
Sick.
problem
But
is that
it's good.
you're underselling one of the forms
Which
when I think it's Vegeta that turns into the giant monkey form and
Well, yeah.
destroys most of the arena.
I mean, that was that's his classic thing.
So I know, but
Ozaru form.
that is
the great
not
ape.
a thing that was a thing in the other Tenkaichi
Really?
games. No.
Are you sure you couldn't be Great Ape in those?
You could.
Wait, I don't know.
No, I remember.
Wait a second. I think I'm just thinking of Budokai, which is the side-scrolling fighter.
Yeah,
I don't know.
The Great
I
Ape
never
stuff
played-
was definitely in Budokai Tenkaichi.
Oh, man, I just want to return to Budokai. That's which is really just
A 2D fighting game.
You
Which
just want
is-
Fighter Z, but without the Marvel vs. Capcom style mechanics.
yeah. But maybe I'll just buy Fighter Z, and there's like 1,000 characters in that
Oh,
game.
yeah.
now.
That's a good game.
No Beast Gohan though.
right.
That's true.
He'll definitely be in this one. One I thought was cool is one of the wolf guys from one of the other universes is going to be in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I want all the Sailor Moon
Yes.
characters.
Yes, I'm sure they will be in
yeah.
there. Honestly, it looks like the graphic they showed for the roster was huge. Like there are a ton of empty spaces, but I still don't think it's enough for all of the characters you want to play as from Dragon Ball.
No.
Right. I definitely am so excited to play this game, though.
This looks so good.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it looks.
These lighting
Amazing.
effects too are freaking insane.
Yeah.
It is. I remember when Fighter Z came out, and we are like, I can't believe they made it look exactly like the show, and this looks even more exactly like the show.
Yeah.
I would say this looks like a better version than the show.
Yeah.
To be honest.
I mean, it looks like a superhero did. Honestly,
Yeah.
The movie.
I think what gets me more is the auras around them, like the power auras and the explosions are.
Yeah, like the flashes
Yeah.
of light and stuff.
I know that everyone hates Jiren, but I am ready for some Ultra Instinct nonsense. Give me
Yeah, it's interesting they
Like-
didn't. The trailer didn't have
Oh,
Ultra
wow.
Instinct
Yeah.
Goku
yeah.
or Ultra Ego Vegeta.
Holy crap. Yeah,
Yeah,
this
it's
is
a
going to be
huge-
so
It's
much.
enormous. There are on some articles you can find an actual like graphic of that. Yeah, there's a lot of open spaces,
That's
but definitely some cool stuff.
Good
We got
God.
Future Trunks.
Oh, you can't
or
not
Su-
have that.
can't
but I
not
mean
have
from
Future
Super, and you also have Future Trunks from
Classic.
Cell Saga.
yeah. The better one.
Yeah.
Give me one arm Gohan.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
that'd be
That'd
there.
be cool.
Yeah.
Kid Gohan, Super Saiyan 2.
If you want us to
Grandpa
go,
Gohan.
if you want us to go down
that would
roads,
be wild.
you just got to mention Final Fantasy VII or Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
We'll
We'll
go.
be here for a bit.
Yeah. Grandpa Gohan would be really cool.
I don't know that.
It would be dumb.
I'm
but
pretty
it would be
sure he
cool.
was in one of the other
Yeah.
games.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
But
pretty
he was
sure
like
he
dead
was.
at the beginning
Yeah.
of Dragon Ball. He definitely never fought anyone.
I really would like just the. I really want Bulma, of course.
As a character?
Yeah,
How's she gonna
duh.
fight? How's she fight?
She's in other games.
She pulls out gadgets, bro.
Yeah,
Guess so. She's a gimmick character.
Yeah.
yeah. I never said that she was like you're not like powering up and
Sure,
stuff. Like Videl was in the other games.
Yeah, but she
And
can
stuff.
power up.
Yeah, she can.
She learned how to do it. She was in Fighter Z.
Yeah.
Was she?
Yeah, she was one of the DLC characters, and
Every once in a while, that game goes on sale for like $7 on the Switch,
It's
and
I
worth
have
it.
bought it on the Switch. I think. Oh no, I think I did on.
and it'll be
I
like
think I have it on
$20
Xbox,
with all
actually.
the DLC, and I'm like,
Yeah.
why don't I just do this?
There's so much DLC. But yeah, Videl was the one, and she had Gohan in her attacks. Like he would, like her block thing was Gohan would come out and protect her.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Great stuff.
Yeah, man,
Yep, that was her Dragon Ball corner.
it's
It looks like a good game.
yeah, that's what I want. And hopefully my friends will play it with me, and it's a fighting game I'm gonna buy this year of our Lord 2024.
Yes, sir.
Definitely buying that day one. Won't regret it. Probably will, but won't regret it.
I imagine it will also have robust post-launch DLC,
Yeah. They will keep adding things.
which is good. We're not always pro DLC, but in a fighting game,
Yeah.
I can
I
get.
want the
you want new
Zena.
characters.
The Zeno.
Zeno?
The Zeno.
The
children-
Omni King.
Yeah, the
Just
two kids.
Point at something and
Yeah.
blow it up.
Yeah, I want those. Give me those.
That would be interesting.
Little
How
weirdos.
do you put God in a fighting game?
Yes. You
How do
know,
you
they made
scale
a
them down?
they made a One Punch Man fighting game,
That's
and he
true.
Yeah.
kills stuff in one punch.
It's
so,
true, but he just takes a really long time to get to the arena.
Yeah. So let's talk about the state of play. The main state of play is next week.
the main, meaning the one that is
well, look, we-
exclusively about.
Yes, the one that we didn't know
Fantasy
about
VII
until
Rebirth.
the end of this state. Of
Right.
play.
February 6th. They're going to talk about the
Yes.
game of the year.
Obviously, the biggest announcement of the state of play was that next week there'll be one
Right.
devoted to Final Fantasy VII.
Purely to Final
Yeah.
Fantasy VII Rebirth. So,
which we will be here to report on next week.
you know we will.
We'll talk about it in depth.
Yes, sir.
I had to explain to Chris before this recording, because him and one of his kiddos were hanging out, and they were like, "Oh, I'm pretty sure there already was a sequel to Final Fantasy VII Remake," and him and Chris, the kiddo, had it confused, and then confused Chris, because. I don't think that they were wrong in thinking this, but they were thinking of Crisis Core Remake.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
the thing is, I'm kind of with them, but that had no alterations to the story.
Yes.
But the way they packaged it did definitely make it seem like it was in the same
Yeah.
sort of vein.
Definitely a missed opportunity. In my
It is a
opinion.
I agree with you. But I think when we play Rebirth, we'll get some explanation as to why, maybe. Like it.
Well, I think
they-
they did it just because Zach is going to be in Rebirth,
Right.
and so
They-
they want to allow him to reintroduce himself.
Yeah.
Yes. And Genesis.
He? Gongaga.
He Gungaga.
That game is really stupid.
That game is
It's
great, you
the
mean.
best.
I don't know what you're
I
talking
think
about.
it's something about it. I think I enjoyed it, but something about the story is just like
Some
there's
of
a
the-
So great.
there's a level of stupidness that I can't like bring myself to
some of the dopest cutscenes I've ever seen
to
in my life.
Like, I can accept a lot of stupidity from a game by I cannot not remember the guy's name, the Kingdom Hearts guy.
Tetsuya
Nomura?
Nomura?
Yeah, I can't remember his name lately, and I don't know why.
He's
concerning.
basically tattooed on my heart.
Yeah.
What do you like?
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I can accept a lot of stupidity from a Nomura game. But something about Crisis Core, I'm just like, man, this is endearing, but it kind of is leaning into bad for me.
It's unhinged. They
but
let him be him.
I enjoy
Yeah.
it. But yes, I think they just released that because of Zach being in the new game,
yeah.
and
Trying to think of the-
obviously, it's going to link into stuff.
I'm trying to think of so there's Angel, Genesis, and
Zack.
Sephiroth and Zach.
It's the only characters in that game.
Basically.
Yeah.
And Cloud.
And the girl, what was her name? The Shinra girl that went to the beach with him.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Oh man.
One of the Turks.
Yep.
Yeah,
Elena?
I don't know.
I think that is it. What a game. Everyone should play that game. You'll love it, maybe. But best
But that's not what
cutscenes.
we're talking about now.
No.
No.
Um,
That's what we'll talk
We
about.
may be talking about it next week. But now we're going to talk about today's state of play.
God knows they're
Which was
gonna. I kind of
interesting.
don't want to watch that state of play next week because the game is
I know,
coming
it's
out.
coming out next month. It's just like, how much do I want to see?
Yeah.
But it is also going to be one of those things where everything's going to be out of context, and so you're
Oh,
not going to
yeah.
know what anything means.
So you guys are going to help walk me through this a little.
Yeah.
Because I half watched this while my wife was getting running shoes and I was watching my boy.
Part of during this, I was watching while I was in the shower.
Nice.
Wow,
Love doing
for
that.
once I wasn't interrupted at work while watching this, so I got to see the whole thing.
I mean, I saw the whole thing,
yeah.
but I was showering for part of it.
Yeah.
The optimal way to experience these things, to be honest.
Honestly, being in the shower in a hot shower is the optimal way to experience a lot of things.
Yeah.
That's true. I'm with you.
Yeah. Okay, so we kicked it off with Helldivers 2.
Yeah, that was
Which-
good. This game looks like
Ooh.
it's gonna be really fun.
Yeah,
every-
Okay, are
it's
they
gonna
gonna
be the shooter of the year. I'm calling it right now.
Do we think it's gonna have raid bosses?
Yeah.
I
And
don't
they're going
know.
to be super hard. The problem is, am I going to have to buy PlayStation
No,
Yeah, that's
or
the thing.
whatever.
Premium?
I
to-
want to play it, but I don't want to have to buy the thing that lets me play multiplayer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then how are we gonna play this with the fellas?
I mean, look,
then?
I got no money. I'm not buying anything.
Yeah.
But I especially am not trying to get this thing that I will only use for one game.
Yeah.
Especially
with
when the
you.
last one you could play on one screen with the boys.
That is true.
True.
We need to find if this game has couch co-op.
I
then.
doubt it does. It should. but
It
I
should.
doubt it.
I would play it.
Keep talking. I'm going to do some
Yeah.
research.
Yeah.
But
it was a brief look.
yeah,
Just a little trailer.
and just
a
a
lot of
reminder
these were
that
just
it-
little trailers.
yeah. A lot of the ones were just basically like quick reminders, like, "Hey, this is coming out in 2 weeks."
Yeah, like Zenless Zone Zero, which I hate it so much.
I'm tired of seeing this game
Look,
and seeing nothing of it.
well, that's the problem is they don't want to show you the game because it's a Hoyoverse free to play
Product.
game that you will have to pay a lot of money or waste a bunch of time to play.
Yeah.
And it's frustrating because it's got the looks on point. It's a dope looking game visually. But
Yeah.
the actual gameplay is going to be annoying. So
Absolutely.
also, I think that trailer when it started, I was like, "What is this? Foam stars?" And then it was.
and then it was.
And then it was Zenless Zone Zero, and then the very next trailer was Foam Stars.
Yeah.
It's
a really funny
I
sequence
chuckled to
of events.
myself because that was my first thought. I was like, "Oh, Foam Stars! I gotta see this again."
That's good.
And that once again did not look interesting to me,
No.
especially now that we know it's AI generated
Yeah.
stuff. But what about the stuff that was interesting for us?
I would say Stellar Blade looks really interesting.
Yeah,
even
I'd
though it
forgotten
looks
about
like
that
almost
game.
one for one, like Nier Automata,
And-
basically.
yeah,
which
so
I'm for. Fill that
It
void,
was
Queen.
I had no idea. I remember seeing the name when they announced the state of play. I was like, I don't know what that is.
Oh, I saw it and I was
And
immediately
then-
pumped because I was like, it's been a hot minute since we've seen something.
yeah,
from
and
this.
then when the thing started, I was like, oh wait a minute, I remember this game. I remember when they revealed it, and we were all like, this looks like they were trying to make Nier Nier Automata. I remember that was part of a showcase that had a bunch of games that with no release dates
Yeah.
that all sort of looked derivative of other things and were really weird.
yeah,
But yeah,
it looks really cool.
it looks interesting. It definitely looks like it's just Nier Automata. Not in a bad way.
No, like in a really good way, and I think visually, at least, it's distinct enough.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, absolutely.
But I think it's definitely gonna try going for some similar themes.
I
through it
doubt,
all.
given that the monsters that you're fighting instead of being like humanoid robots, they're big flesh monsters. I
Yeah.
doubt they're gonna go into the humanity of the
Of
enemy
it
type of
all,
stuff.
yeah.
It did have the cool dog with a hand face.
Yes.
Yeah, you should
The-
look it up. There was a big wolf at the end
Some
of
of
it
these
who
things
had a
are
big
ki-
hand for a face.
Yeah, some of these designs for the monsters
Yeah,
are
they're-
kind of horrifying.
Yeah, they're grotesque.
The first one that they showed, and it was just like this gaping maw. I don't even know how else to describe it, but it was just moving in a slightly odd way that just like unsettled me.
Yeah,
And
and that hand face.
Yeah.
that thing was. It was like, oh, it's a big wolf, and then it
then
jumps up, and
boom.
it's just got this giant hand
Yeah,
where
yeah.
its face should be. Oh, it's freaky. It was like
awesome.
the thing from that movie we saw. You remember the boogeyman?
the Boogeyman
Oh,
movie.
man.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're so right.
Mouth.
Jesus.
I think it's the problem with these is we see so many of these character action looking games, and so much is going to be like, is the combat actually fun to play? Like,
Yeah.
there's just no way of knowing based
Right.
on a trailer.
That's true.
'Cause, like, it looks cool enough.
With each of these things, you really got to just get your
Yeah, you
hands
have
on
to
it
be
and
able
see
to
how
play
it
it.
feels. Because you can make it look like one
Yeah.
as much as you want, but to make it feel like it is an entirely different
Very
skill
true.
set, which I feel sometimes is not successfully done.
Yeah.
But I think this game will.
It's definitely
I think
interesting.
I think it could do it.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's
We
got
could pull it off.
some. We heard a lot of the English voice acting, which I don't know.
Yeah, take it or leave it.
Right. I think that we're seeing a lot of the similar types of characters, and there's just got to be characters with annoying voices, and it's just like you just kind of have to accept it that there's going to be a person with an annoying, high pitched British voice. And
I was about to say
Why does this person
with
exist?
an annoying British voice,
I don't
which
know
is to say
why
any kind
this
of British voice.
why this is here in this sort of serious post-apocalyptic game, but
Yeah, why are the British in the
With
post-apocalypse?
A Asian model with the British.
I mean, I'm not
voice.
sure that she's Asian. I think it seems to be that she's a created being.
No, she is literally a scan of Shin Jae-un, who is
Ah.
from South Korea.
Ah.
I didn't know that.
Don't Google her unless you're at home.
Not safe
And
for
no
work
one's
and other-
around.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it's all
And you have
covered,
a free
but it is-
afternoon.
but they were joking about it on Giant Bomb, and I was like, oh, how bad can it be? And then I googled it, I was like, oh, not bad, but I was like, that
Tasteful.
they definitely used this person to scan,
Interesting.
which is why they're also kind of revealing in the game. It seems like there's a lot of like slits and stuff and in the outfit, sort of Bayonetta vibes.
Yeah.
I'm cool with that.
Yeah, Bayonetta's cool,
But yeah, it's definitely in the
but it
in the
did
line
throw
of
me
like
off when
sexy robot killing machine.
the British voice came out because
could
I was
always
like,
have more
I
of that.
know this person is not British. So what? Like, it's a
Like
choice.
I said, I think it is. You'll find it in a lot of JRPGs, which are dubbed
Right.
over. I said they just give them all British casts.
Well, don't you know?
I think part of it
You're
started
gonna
with
pull up the-
Xenoblade.
Yeah. Final Fantasy 12 was like that too, wasn't it?
I don't know.
and
Yeah, but
16.
it was sort of a
16 for
okay.
real.
16 is very specifically like in a medieval.
a medieval time.
Yeah.
There's no black people,
But there's
They
still
only
slavery.
but there's still slavery, and they speak British.
But I'm saying at least there's a reason why they're British. It's because the world that they're basing on was
It's
in
horrible.
Britain. It was England.
yes.
God.
Get these British accents out of here.
Yeah, I could do without them.
Unless if it's like a Cockney accent.
Have them
Yeah,
be
'cause
Russian.
that's
You don't
funny.
have to get rid of all of them.
Have them be Russian.
We want some diversity in our
Yeah.
accents, please.
Or give me a Glaswegian accent, you know? You can't understand a single thing those people
Yeah, I
are
don't
saying.
know about that. I would like to understand the words.
Subtitles.
Unless they're making it intentionally unintelligible.
Yeah.
Like some kind of alien dialect.
yeah.
All right. So this game, yeah, it looked like something that, because this falls in my mind in the same bucket that Scarlet Nexus did, where I look at it, I'm like, oh, this looks cool, and then
I still haven't played that.
I played the demo for it. It feels weird. For maybe what I expected it to feel like.
yeah,
But people like that game.
sure.
Yeah.
Everyone's got different strokes, baby.
Yeah. Because they're different
People love
folks.
weeb stuff.
Yeah. And I think I may end up loving Stellar Blade. I don't know.
This whole time, okay, so I'm just now reading. During the whole trailer, I was trying to figure out what they were calling the monsters you're fighting. And I was right. They're natives. That's what they're called.
What?
That's-
That is
but
not what
it's-
I heard them say.
It's capital N-A and then a colon and then Tivs. So it's spelled really
What?
weirdly. But the whole time I was like, this doesn't. It doesn't seem like
Okay,
that's what the.
That
feels-
doesn't
that
sound
doesn't
good.
well, that
That feels icky. That feels.
but that didn't sound like what they were calling them in the trailer. I felt.
Yeah, there was.
was
There was
another
another word that
word.
I thought it sounded like, but I think it was there was a sort of cognitive dissonance happening that like I heard the word, it's like it can't be that word. That
No.
doesn't make sense. But that is what they are. Weird, especially
Ooh.
since they're weird flesh monsters
Yeah.
and supposedly aliens called natives.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Ironic.
erotic. Yes.
Sure.
What
What was
else?
after
What else
this?
did we have?
Sonic.
Yes, the
X
wildest.
Shadow Generation.
The wildest reveal.
The greatest reveal.
There was a sort of remake of one of my
I'm
favorite
blown
games,
away.
Sonic
I'm
Generations.
blown away by this.
But with Shadow.
I'm blown away.
Yeah, it's such a strange reveal.
It's so strange.
I
But-
can't understand why, but I'm glad.
Shadow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We love Shadow. Sonic. Do we know if this is a remake of Generations? I don't know.
Yes,
Well, I don't know.
it is.
Because other people and them themselves report that this is a brand new game.
No, it's a remake,
But
but also with new stuff.
Like I said earlier tonight, it's the Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury.
yeah,
The Shadow part is the Bowser's Fury.
But it's within the game.
yeah. Well, yes, but like it just
I mean, as
general
far
idea.
I don't
you
know actually, because we don't know.
I mean, we'll find out, I guess.
I mean,
The
I'm
way
gonna
I'm
buy
thinking
it.
is, so in the original one, each level had Act 1 and Act 2. Act 1 with classic Sonic, Act 2 with modern Sonic. And then we'll have an Act 3 with Shadow. So he'll have a dark version of every world.
Yeah, I kind of just
But he
hope
didn't
that
have
he
guns,
has
which
his
was
own,
unfortunate.
just like his own story
I
mode
think he
that's
does.
equivalent
I can't.
to.
There was definitely some kind of new.
Will there
monster
be
that he was fighting.
side-scrolling Shadow?
I don't know. I don't think
Probably.
so. I don't think there's a classic Shadow.
No, there isn't, but like,
But they might do side-scrolling levels for him.
yeah, I don't see why not. Also, I feel like there were sections of like his levels in
Shadow.
Adventure 2 and Shadow the Hedgehog that at least had some side-scrolling bits. I don't know.
Yeah, I
Those
don't know.
games like sometimes doing that for like 5 seconds.
Yeah,
Anyway, I'm excited. I
Yeah.
love Generations.
It'll be
And
dope.
It's
getting
so
it a-
good.
even without the Shadow stuff, just remaking it visually on modern consoles. Great
it's one
time.
of the greatest games of
It-
the
yeah,
Sonic
Yeah.
series.
Yep.
What was next?
One of the most unexpected thing. Well, hold on.
Yes,
The first part of this is not unexpected. Or
I thought
like,
this was just the Dredge DLC being advertised
Of
for Dave the Diver.
Yeah. So Dave the Diver, it's coming to PlayStation in April, and you know that's all fine and dandy at all. I was like, who
yeah.
cares?
I guess I hadn't realized
Whatever.
that you couldn't play it on PlayStation until now.
Yeah.
yeah.
And then right at the end of the trailer for this, they play the Godzilla theme. The ba 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 ba.
Yeah,
And
it was
Godzilla
great.
rises
I
out
was-
of the ocean,
I was laughing while watching.
I
I thought it was
was
really funny.
going crazy.
I have no idea how it'll work within the game Dave the Diver.
I don't even know how they got this because Toho as a company is so strict on who can use Godzilla and how they use Godzilla and why they do it. Like Toho very much has like a stranglehold on these sort of things, and there's like no
Are we-
negotiation with them.
There must be some sympathetic ears within Sony.
There has to be.
Who
But
did
I'm
some kind of
but this little bit made me absolutely
Yeah, we
like
got-
I'm going to play the Dave the Diver, but also it makes me really just want more Godzilla appearances and things, or just a new Godzilla game.
Yeah.
The other week,
Godzilla Destroy All Monsters Melee remake.
yeah, I just played that for the first
Yeah.
time the other week, and it was great.
Yeah.
We played it for like an hour. at my friend's house on his original Xbox, and it was glorious. And I want more stuff like that. Give me more kaiju
great,
fighting
yeah.
games.
Yes. yes. I
Especially
agree.
these days. Ooh. But yeah, Godzilla is the more important part of this Dave the Diver bit. And then next is Silent Hill, the short message.
Yeah, this. I somehow did not realize. Like, I knew what. They were talking about Silent Hill, and I knew they were showing stuff with his new character.
Yeah.
And I somehow totally missed the part that this was like its own standalone PT style mini demo game.
Yeah, so at first I thought this was just more of whatever that pick your own adventure show is that's going on right now. So like at first I was like, I don't care, but then I actually started showing like the gameplay and stuff, and I'm like, oh crap, this is a new unrelated thing. And then I immediately clocked, I'm like, oh, this is like PT. And then it said free to play or whatever, free to download or something.
It's on.
Like,
It's out now. I just somehow I guess I must have missed the splash screen that said it was this new thing, and I just assumed it was rolled into Silent Hill 2, because then they transitioned into showing stuff from that.
Yeah.
But I remember thinking like, I don't know, like this character is brand new to me. I haven't played any Silent Hill, but I have memories of what they looked like.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, there's a little standalone game that they released on PS5.
I'm very excited to give this a shot.
Yeah, I'll do it. I missed out on PT back in the day.
No, you didn't.
I mean, I played it that one time at our friend's house,
Yeah.
but I didn't have the capabilities of downloading it when it came out.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So I don't have one of those PlayStations that are worth $1,000
yeah.
that because it has PT on it.
Crazy.
I'm pretty sure at this point you could download PT on like a ROM site or something.
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely.
absolutely. Yeah.
And then yeah,
Not
we
that I
got
would suggest you do such a thing, but I think you can.
yeah. I mean, I legally cannot say go do that
Yeah.
because that would be illegal.
But it's something you could do.
Yeah. But I'm not telling you to do it, and I'm not encouraging you to do it.
So
I'm just
Silent
saying
Hill,
it can be done.
Silent Hill 2 definitely not coming out this year.
Probably not.
Still in development, so who knows when.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't entirely know how I feel about this little show they did for Silent Hill 2. Like, I think I'll still play that game when it comes out, but something about it, at least right now, just feels a little off to me. I think it was the sound design from what I was hearing. It didn't feel enough, if that makes sense.
I have no attachment to the game.
I have
so
a
wouldn't
question.
know.
Yeah.
What are the monsters in Silent Hill?
Well, they're Ash, I think.
What?
I don't know.
I think you're thinking of the movie.
I am thinking.
Yeah,
of
that
them.
movie is good.
That movie's
Not
great.
a great
That movie's-
distillation.
A loose adaptation.
That
Yeah.
movie's a very good movie, though.
Has one of the hardest scenes ever. With
movie's a
Superman
great
just
movie.
tearing the flesh off of somebody.
Yeah, that movie's great.
But so
I don't want anyone to argue the merits of that film.
yeah, typically the
None,
monster.
none of us are going to. You can,
Yeah,
you can keep saying it's great. We're
you're
not gonna.
it's
we're not
okay,
gonna fight
David.
it.
We
Just-
agree.
I really like that movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
The monsters in Silent Hill are typically supposed to be like manifestations of usually like a character's like guilt or something like that.
What are they like made of?
Ash.
Whatever your mind conjures up.
Okay.
So
I
probably
mean, I know
flesh.
Silent Hill is like a parallel dimension, sort of.
The siren
Hell
goes
World.
off.
I may be also thinking
The
of the
siren
movie.
goes off.
It's kind
and
of
then
a
the
lot of
world
things.
changes.
It's a little bubble of reality where nightmares come true. Take that as you will.
You know, the second Silent Hill movie, they retconned it to make it closer to make the original closer to the games.
yeah.
What?
Yeah.
We
That's
should
gotta
watch
be the
these.
worst movie ever.
We should watch them.
I mean, we can. I'm not going to be happy. Well, I'll love the 1st
You'll,
one.
yeah, you'll be happy with the first one.
I'll watch him.
Yeah. Are you kidding me? Do you hear this, dude?
What?
Go watch the Silent Hill movies, but not Advent Children.
Advent Children
Yeah.
is not scary.
That's true.
That's true, but like,
I mean, it's, I guess, scary in an existential kind of way.
God.
Oh, it does really
Whatever.
force you to think about
The geostigma, which I
Existence.
don't want to think about.
existence within the live stream and what that truly means.
Lord, there's geostigma out of my podcast.
It's not even just geostigma, my dude. I read a really long theory craft about it the other day.
Yeah, I don't want. This is what I'm scared of.
And
My actual fears.
existence within the live stream and the meaning of
Look, we
I
can't talk about this now. Wait, this is for next week.
I will
Yeah.
never be just a member. Like the
The live stream
There's
isn't
stuff
real.
there.
there's stuff.
It's
there.
hyper real.
The live stream is it's as real as the Goo River in New York from Ghostbusters 2, which is there. You just got to look.
You think the Goo River in New York is the same ooze that created the Mutant Ninja Turtles
I
before they were teenage?
I think that the government would tell you no, but I think there's a strong possibility.
Therefore, it's the same goo that blinded Matthew Murdoch as a child.
No.
Yes.
That is a bridge too
That's
far.
definitely a chemical. That's not a goo.
Yeah.
There's a difference.
Hold on.
I think we need to go to the next game.
Hold on. No.
Goo.
The Turtles share their origin with Daredevil.
Which version of Daredevil and which version
Like-
of the Turtles?
Every version of the Turtles, basically. Like, their origin of... They are a bunch of turtles in a box being carried by somebody, and they get... The kid almost gets hit by a car or truck that's carrying radioactive stuff, and it gets all over everyone.
But how does this tie into Daredevil?
Because the creators of the TMNT were such huge Daredevil fans.
Okay, but that doesn't mean they exist within the same world.
But it is the... It
Just
is the
because they're a
same...
spiritual
What I'm
successor.
Oh my
saying
god, I'm
is
saying
that
they are linked.
the movie
inexplicably.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles exists within the world of
I think we have
Ghostbusters.
to
I'm
table
saying,
this.
yeah,
and talk
we'll
about
table
the
this.
next.
It's
game.
clear they're an homage, but they don't exist in the same world.
They could.
They're
dig-
also loose.
They,
They're not blind.
they actually
the
can't
turtles can
because
see.
they do exist within the world of Batman.
We don't need to
We're-
get.
You
this is
see,
going to devolve.
I have
No, you have
I've
not.
ended your argument.
You have not. We're moving on. Dragon's Dogma 2, March 22nd. That's going to be a game that Monster Hunter wishes it could be. Holy crap, it looks so good.
It looks cool. I'll never play it.
Sad.
That's the.
I will play it.
Yeah, I'll play it.
I might play it then because it'll be multiplayer. But I don't know. It's. I just want them to definitively say that you don't have to have played the first one.
You probably don't. Also, there's like big swords.
I mean, I won't have played the first
Yeah,
one, so
same.
I
to me
tried.
it won't matter.
I tried. I got like 5 hours in. I liked it.
So you have played it. So what
Yeah.
are you worried about?
I didn't do the, there's a lot more to it than what I got to.
Only
Yeah,
by a
that
few
looks cool.
hours.
Let's keep going down the list. That was cool, but none of us have any attachment.
I'll get this next one to Seth.
Which one was it?
Rise of the Ronin.
Oh yeah. I don't remember the order of any of this stuff.
That game looks cool. There was cool blood on the snow. The blood on the snow looked good.
Yes, this game. Oh my gosh.
I don't think I clocked that.
The one thing that I'm worried about is that I have seen that they are in this game. They're not going to have the fantastical elements like the demons and the Oni and stuff like that.
Yeah, it feels
Neo
very
2, which
based in
is
reality.
It's kind of a bummer to me, but there was this weird giant guy with bandages all over him.
I did see that guy, and I
So
immediately
it's
thought,
like-
this guy's a freak.
So it's like, maybe it'll be some different kind of weird monsters that you're fighting, and they might be people. But yeah, it looks great, and I love to see all the different stances and all the different weapon types, which is the stuff I loved in Neo, and
Of course.
they made sure to highlight it. So I'm glad that they have. Hopefully, all of the crazy amount of customization will be back. I'm excited. It comes out in March.
Yeah, my March is looking to be a really stacked month.
March is wild.
This
There was a crazy goofy looking guy at the end with like a bowler hat.
yeah.
And I was like, I don't know what this dude's deal is, but he's definitely got some style.
Yes, sir. Up next is the reveal. Or is this the reveal, or is this game been teased before? Judas.
I think it
from
was
Bioshock
at
creator Ken Levine.
It's definitely been revealed before. It was at a Summer Game Fest, maybe.
I think it's been announced that Ken Levine is making a game, but
Right.
I don't think that the game has actually been showed until now.
I see. I think so. Yeah. IGN says this is the first footage from it,
Yeah.
so that makes sense. Yeah, this game looks like BioShock.
No, there was a world premiere trailer at the Game Awards in 2022.
That was the reveal, wasn't it?
I just said it was the world premiere trailer. It was a trailer.
Yeah, but world
there was
premiere means nothing there
world
anymore.
premiere. Look, I'm just saying it had visuals. It wasn't
They
just.
might have shown like concept art and stuff.
Oh my god!
It was a vibes trailer.
No, look.
I'm
There's
gonna look it up.
actual stuff happening. There's a robot dancing. There's a guy with a weird hand.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Flame hand. All the Bioshock beats are being
Mainstays.
hit.
Yeah, which means I'll probably play this game like 5 years from now and be lukewarm on it.
I'll play it. When did it say it was coming out? It didn't.
Yeah, it didn't.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
It
So
takes
you'll
place
never
in
play
space, apparently, which I guess is the natural. You had a game under the sea. You had a game in the sky. A game in space.
Game
Space
in the
station.
stars.
Next one will be Mars, maybe.
What do you think the next BioShock will be? There's a team
Underground.
making it. Ugh, it's
Silo.
boring.
It'll be the show Silo.
That's boring. Maybe it's a time displaced town. That would be cool.
That'd be cool.
There will be a lighthouse, of course.
Yeah. We don't need to get down that. We're all trying to fight with each other.
Does
Yeah.
not mean that the main character of Bioshock will be the same person as Booker.
All right, keep going.
Until Dawn is getting a PS5 version.
Yeah,
Cool.
I was when this trailer goes like, what's happening?
Well,
here?
remake anything
it's
besides
it's,
Bloodborne.
It's a lot of
Yeah.
weird,
Genuine
spooky imagery, and then the guy with the German accent or Russian accent.
Yeah,
who was the
His
narrator.
voice sounds so familiar. I know it from somewhere else because I haven't played Until Dawn. But the entire time I'm like, I know this voice. And that was bothering me more than trying to decipher what is this game that's being shown.
Yes, let me find it. He's an actual actor. As many
almost everyone in that game
everyone
is.
is in that game. What is his name? Peter Stormare. Look at him. Look at this guy. John Wick
Yeah.
Chapter 2.
Yeah. He's the Russian guy.
Yeah.
Sony remake Bloodborne challenge.
Impossible.
Just they'll remake anything.
Immediate fail.
I'm glad that they're making it though.
They're remaking Final Fantasy VII. Did
Well,
you know?
I think it makes sense given that they're making a movie
No, they're rebirthing it.
and reunioning it.
Yeah,
They already remade it.
they already remade it.
They already remaked it.
Rebirthing it.
He voiced a character called Nickelwise in an episode of Animaniacs.
Heck yeah.
He's 5 times the demon that Pennywise is.
Yes. Oh
Yeah.
my god, that probably is the best. In that, love Animaniacs. Good stuff. What's next?
Until Dawn's great.
Rise of Ronin Until Dawn. Deep Silver announces a new entry in the Metro series,
Yeah,
Metro
VR.
Awakening for the PSVR 2.
We can skip
Care about
we
VR.
can skip the VR stuff.
Well,
I think
I
that was
think
the
that was
only
like
one.
no, there was another thing. It was like a skeleton thing. I don't remember what it's
That
called.
had a weird name too.
Yeah.
really weird generic name like Challenge of the Champions and
something
VR.
like that. And then after that is the big show ender,
The baby.
the baby.
The baby spit out a ship.
All right, it was Death Stranding 2. Let's talk about it.
Death Stranding 2 on a beach
On the beach.
is the official title on
They
the beach.
give this man so much money.
Well, the beach is a thing. in
Yeah,
Death
I know.
Stranding.
I just think the subtitle on the beach is like really funny. It just made me think of the SpongeBob thing, the stepping on the beach.
Listen,
thing.
this is like BioShock. There's a beach. There's a drawbridge.
There's always a beach.
They're listing on the drawbridge, on the beach, on the.
Yeah, but those are places in the world that they're actually in.
There's always
They-
a beach.
They were.
There's always a drawbridge.
This because there's only
There's
the one
always
world.
a
There's
Norman
always a
Reedus.
freaky Troy
It's the
Baker.
same Norman
Oh,
Reedus.
Legendary Tales is the name of that other
right.
that VR game.
Why is the baby
Sorry.
spitting out a ship?
You know,
Why is it?
I don't
Why is a
know.
baby?
You played the game. I'm asking you.
I don't remember it spitting out a ship in
It
the first one.
happens.
And that's definitely a different baby.
Yeah, it's a different baby. This one's got goo coming out of
I
its
mean,
eyes.
wasn't the baby in the first game named like Lou or something like
I
that?
don't remember.
Yeah, he's carrying it in the front of him.
Yeah, well, they keep talking throughout this trailer about Lou being dead.
Well, all of the babies are
did you kill
disposable.
Lou?
The babies are disposable.
As all babies are. In reality.
Forrest is gonna get us hit with
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
the
Some sort of like strike that
Yeah.
just
I don't
takes
have
us
really
down.
any answers about the world of Death Stranding. I don't.
I
know.
don't think Death Stranding does either.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I think it's vibes.
I think you are.
It is vibes.
It is a great trailer, and it also got me interested in me wanting to replay it.
Right.
But the problem is, all of the trailers for Death Stranding 2, Death Stranding 1 were great.
See, that's the thing. I didn't feel that way about Death Stranding 1's trailers.
No,
I was
did.
not.
I
I was
was-
not sold on that game at all.
I was botted so hard.
But
with
with-
Mads
I still wish
Mikkelsen.
it was just trailers.
That's fair.
No answers.
Listen, one day you'll get a Death Stranding movie.
But look, I don't.
Probably.
I don't know what to say. I think
They gave Kojima so much money.
yeah.
And
He's
what
probably-
he did with it was let Troy Baker voice a dude that has a guitar
Oh my God.
that's also an,
An
electric
guitar
axe
railgun
that also
axe.
shoots electricity.
also he's
That's
got
super
Joker
cool.
makeup on.
That's not the
and
cool
he
part,
also
unfortunately.
quotes a bunch of songs.
Yeah, he's incorrigible. He's insufferable.
Yes.
And
I-
he's a freak.
I was
may
like-
be
I
Troy
was like
Baker's
really-
best performance.
Yes.
I don't think it's a good. I think it's a.
I think this
it
game is going to be a masterpiece from everyone
I think it
involved
is the
in it.
most Troy Baker. I don't know that it's his
No,
best
I would say
performance.
it's the least Troy Baker, and that's what makes it great.
Yeah, it's probably the least Troy Baker because it's freaking rad. That's the.
No, I
That's
think.
the problem.
See, I think this is what Troy Baker is.
Oh, really?
That's what
I think this is what he wants to be.
which is better
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't have
because
that answer.
everything about the design and characterization of this character, he was like the golden face guy in
Yeah.
the first one, and I
He
guess
was
I
kind of
guess he
serious in
dies.
the first one, wasn't he?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, he was still kind of a weird wacko.
Man, being on the beach really changes
but
a man.
he didn't come out with a freaking featureless face mask that under it he had a Joker
Joker
mask.
makeup.
Like, what are you?
Now,
doing?
is
And
it
then he
is
pulls
it the
out
Joker or is it the Crow?
a freaking guitar. I think everything about I was in on this trailer.
Until
I was
this.
like, this this is really making me want to go back into this world and figure out what it was about. And then this guy shows up. I was like, no, this is just
But what about
is
the
parody.
cool
This
big
is a
samurai
drop-
guys that came in to attack
Who
him?
was
A
laughing like a
drawbridge
baby.
too far. A drawbridge too far.
I'm pretty sure the samurai is the baby.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm sure.
It was laughing like a baby when it was doing that stuff. So I think it is whatever Norman Reedus has this connection with this baby, and the baby is controlling the samurai. Yep. And there was a
Why can't your
a
baby
woman,
control the samurai?
the Elle Fanning is in there, and she had strands going up into the sky.
Yeah.
It's made of protein.
Yeah, the tar is made of protein. It's primordial ooze. There's a talking puppet who seems to be animated at a lower frame rate,
I don't.
which is interesting. I think it's.
the
I don't know what the
The
talking
talking
puppet is.
puppet also sort of just appeared out of
Oh,
nowhere.
I love that
and then-
talking puppet.
I think
I
it's
want
the
more of
guy
him.
who was Guillermo del Toro's character
And
model.
then he
in the
just
first-
grabs
Ah.
it and puts it on his belt like.
Yeah, he was put.
Mimir
he was,
in God of War.
And
Yeah.
then the guy was like, "Don't do that. I want to be in front."
He said, "Don't put me on the butt."
I thought that was. I mean, it's a very direct homage to God of War, and I thought it
Or
was
Lollipop Chainsaw.
cheeky. Probably less likely.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. Kojima's a little freak.
He's a freak.
True. That's the truth. He definitely would have played Lollipop Chainsaw.
Yes,
What
sir.
a weird.
Also, the hands.
Oh, I love that.
That
That's maybe my favorite thing in this whole trailer. Is
So at first,
Lea
it was-
Seydoux character has
yeah, it was fragile.
freaking-
It looked like she was just wearing a. At first, I thought she was covering her
but
face.
no, it's just like
with her
a
hands
mask that is hands.
because she was like grossed out at what was happening, and then it was like, oh, that's a face mask that she's wearing. That's hands,
it's so
which is a
cool.
very Kojima like.
Which also light her cigarette.
Yeah, the
later
hands
on.
like
But then
move
the
around,
hands
like
move
almost like they're
around,
Yeah.
autonomous.
like they are controlled by her brain or something.
Yeah, and they light her cigarette for it.
with-
It's so cool. I like. Listen,
It's
every
very
maybe the
much
coolest.
Kojima
Maybe the
design.
coolest cigarette light in a game since Sid using a crystal to do it.
Yeah.
In,
in 16.
16.
Yeah. Every single Kojima game has one character that is just like one of the like best designs you've ever seen of something.
And in that one, it's these hands.
Yeah, straight up.
We all
Not
know
even
that
like the-
Forrest thinks that
And
Whisper
the
is the
puppet.
greatest character design that Kojima has made.
sure.
Just whisper.
You know, the woman who could
Quiet?
only
Oh,
breathe through her
quiet, yeah.
skin.
God, nah, big boss, dude. He's a hunk. And he's got an eye
I
patch.
think
How
I
can you go
unlocked him
wrong
in
with that?
Fortnite
Big boss? Big boss is in Fortnite? No,
No,
you got
that's-
Old Snake.
and Solid Snake.
Yeah. Old Snake and Solid Snake are the same.
I think that.
Which snake was Big Boss?
I was about to say. I think that the lore
His
pointed to
father?
Snake being big.
No, but in
Boss.
which game was he Snake?
3. He was Naked Snake in 3 and then got the title of Big Boss at
This
the end
is-
of it.
This is I don't think any of that's real. I think.
No, I think he's right.
What? No, I'm
just
so right.
Snake-
3 is the best game in
Snake
that
equals
series.
boss.
No.
It's
Well,
just-
Three's Snake Eater, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And is that the one with Liquid Snake? Or
No.
is he the
No, there are no other snakes besides.
What
Okay.
about Solidus Snake?
That was 2.
Now, who's he?
This is-
He's another.
boss.
He's another brother of Solid and Liquid.
Okay.
Yeah. All sons of Big
See,
Boss.
All right. I'm tracking now.
I don't know. I
No,
don't
it's
think
pretty
that-
easy. Listen, it's not as complicated as people try and make it out to be.
I think it only became complicated when they
4 made it
introduced-
complicated.
yeah, when they introduced all these characters in the same world. It was fine when they were individual characters in their own games. Big Boss.
Big
They're all big
Boss.
boss.
There's a big boss inside of each of us.
And who's the president that yells at? What's his face? Is that
The president?
yeah. In Revengeance.
Oh, Armstrong, Senator Armstrong.
He's not Snake.
No,
Is the
he just has nanomachines.
Does
son.
he call the mom in Death Stranding Big Mom?
No,
That's One Piece.
no.
That's
In Metal Gear Solid 4, there is a character named Big Mama who was the mother of Solid, Liquid, and Solidus Snake.
you can't make jokes about what he makes because he just does them.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's better or worse
It's better for me right now. I'm having a blast.
because I did that as a bit. And then it was something real that he's done.
Yeah, this is a thing.
And I don't know if I like it or not.
Oh, it's
life
great.
imitating art, imitating life, imitating art. It's just
Yes.
this feedback loop.
It
Anything
never
you
ends.
say
Canon will
will
be used
and
by Kojima.
will be created by Kojima and will already have been
Is
a
he
thing
scanning us
created.
now?
Yeah.
Is he,
Yes.
He's tapped in. I
Yeah, he's Mr. Anderson,
Yeah, for real.
or he's Neo. I don't know. I'm not clear.
I think. Yeah.
He either is the program, or he's
Or
the
he's
guy on the outside of the program that knows he's in a program.
Yeah.
I'm not sure which it is.
I don't know if I want to know which it is.
Yeah,
I don't think it.
I don't
really,
think it matters.
I don't think he cares either way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just knows that he has God powers.
He's working on something.
He's working on a lot of things.
He's working
on a
on
lot of
3
something.
things.
He's working on 3 things, and all of them are going to revolution. They're going to bring together different forms of media in a way that has never been done before.
I don't
says
know.
it.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah,
Yeah,
we got
at
the
the
Death
end of
Stranding.
after Death Stranding 2, that it was revealed that he's working on a new action espionage game.
Yeah.
Which is his
the culmination of his career.
And
Metal Gear
it's
Solid.
going to be a game, but it is also going to be a movie.
Yeah, so was the final like 2 hours of Metal Gear Solid 4. There's an hour and a half cutscene to end that
Why
game.
isn't this guy just making movies?
He practically already has.
He
I know,
already-
but why didn't he make an actual film?
Because so I've been listening to a podcast lately called
I don't think he could do it.
Something Rotten.
I
Yes,
don't
that's the
think-
thing.
I
He
don't
couldn't.
think he could
He would
constrain himself into like
No,
90 minutes.
he would not be allowed. There would be too much like studio oversight.
who would end
despite-
up making the longer film? Nomura or
or Christopher Nolan
no
or no,
Kojima.
or Kojima.
That's a good question.
And the thing
I
is,
need Christopher Nolan to make a video game.
I think that I don't.
I do.
don't. And
I'd
I
do
like
it.
Nolan, but I don't.
Tenet as a video game?
I
That'd
would
be
love
wild.
that. That
I
movie
think
is
that-
already almost Metal Gear Solid.
I think that Nomura could make the shorter film, but Kojima would make the more interesting one. But Kojima would not be understandable. Like that's the thing. A real battle of the wills there.
Yeah.
But Kojima, I'm glad he's getting a bunch of money to just.
Make
Do
a bunch of
whatever he
crazy
wants.
He's
stuff.
the definition of the hold up, let him cook meme.
Yeah.
Like
Yes, in a way.
In
In
a
a
way,
way.
yeah.
And that is what is happening.
Right.
They're allowing him to do that.
Yeah.
They are
Cooking
letting
is
him
happening.
cook.
Some burns are
how did
also happening.
how did the gaming industry get gaslit into giving him so much money to just exist?
Well, it's because of Jeff Keighley.
Or
Kind of.
does this happen? Hold on. Like realistically, and I'm not trying to like. I really would. I'm okay with this podcast ending. Does any of this happen if he's let go of Konami?
No.
Like
I think
if he just
this has specifically happened because he was unceremoniously let go of Konami.
Yeah.
And then the Game Awards stuff. And then Jeff Keighley was like, I'm going to take this guy under my wing.
Well, so I think, regardless of like the situation with Konami, I think he would have left after the release of Metal Gear Solid 5 anyways. The development for that game just got like there were too many things going on with it, and I think regardless of if he was let go or if he chose to leave Konami, that would somehow we still would have ended up here. With his own studio, because he already had a huge rapport in the industry as it was. Like,
Yeah, I think he would have made his own studio, but I do think that his elevation into a public figure in the games industry is in part due to Jeff Keighley,
yeah.
and I think
Figureheading
that
him.
paid that
Dividends.
and that allowed him to cash in on that a bit more than he otherwise would have.
yeah,
Yeah, I agree.
he's always had one of the bigger personalities, I would say.
I don't know if that's true. I think that outwardly his
Yeah, I don't think he has
personality
like a
is very
huge
subdued.
Right. I think he seems like a normal person as a person. He's just does wild stuff in video games, which is
Yeah.
cool. But a lot of developers do that, and they're not really in the public, as he has been thrust into, as sort of this is the visionary of our time. And I think
It's-
that is
right.
completely outside of any of his doing.
Right.
But it has allowed him to
I think that's
get
what
carte blanche to make whatever
someone
he wants.
else
That's
decided
fair.
to market him as.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jeff Keighley.
Jeff Keighley is his manager in the wrestling federation that
Jeff
is the
Keighley-
game industry.
Yeah.
And it's been equally beneficial for him.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. So that's it.
Yep.
Oh, there was one game we skipped over that I totally forgot about. It was called V Rising.
Yeah.
That's all
This
I have
apparently
to say.
was already on PC.
Yeah.
I know that.
Five Rising.
I
Yeah,
was
I
like when I
wasn't
saw
sure
that
how to
when I
pronounce
saw
it
it
before.
I think it is V Rising.
I don't. It's probably.
But when I
just
saw
being
it-
butchered.
Vampires.
When
isn't
I
it?
saw it, I thought, is this about the Devil May Cry character? But it's not.
I wish.
that would be rad.
Yeah,
It's not. But
it's
it would
not.
be rad.
We won't get more Devil May Cry until probably Dragon's Dogma 2 is like 3 years after released.
Yeah. We're in a drought.
Yeah. We don't talk
But-
about
I don't know. Maybe next time there's a
Spirit of
SMT
Combat.
game, it might feature him.
Hmm.
I want V to be
mean, it wasn't-
featured in Fantasio, whatever it's called.
Metaphor
Metaphor,
Refantasia. That would
yeah.
be interesting. Featuring V, from the Devil May Cry
V would be
series.
perfect for that.
But it would be more fun if it was Dante.
Yeah.
Because he wouldn't be perfect for it.
course.
That's fair.
Or Nero, I guess.
Yeah, him and Dante
Less
would both
interesting.
be just demolishing crap.
Right, but it
with
would
no
be.
care.
I think it would be less interesting if Nero was in it than it would be if Dante was in it. Just my opinion.
Yeah.
All right. Well, with that, we appreciate you listening. It's late, and it's not late for you, maybe. But
Could be.
go to bed. And if you're at work,
If it's
leave
nighttime.
work.
Quit your job.
And
Quit
if it's the
your job.
morning,
I quit one of my
get
jobs.
out of bed. Have
Get
a
out of
cuppa.
bed.
Cuppa.
A cuppa.
A cuppa.
And with that, we will talk at you next week, hopefully. Bye.
Bye.
I'm sorry, British people. I don't actually hate you. Bye.